I call this meeting of the Alvin Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. And first thing up, we have a first reading public hearing.
Good evening, Board, President Hubbard, Superintendent Nelson. We have an exciting public hearing this evening, as exciting as public hearings about the first rating can be. The first rating is the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas, and we really have some outstanding news regarding the financial health and transparency of Alvin ISD, so I'm excited to share that with you this evening. The first rating is intended to provide the community with some insight into analysis of district staff information as well as financial information. It's a bit of a lagging indicator for the district. The first rating that we're doing this evening is actually based on information and data from 2018-19, but it still gives very good insight into the financial health of the school district. As a whole, the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas is intended to provide insight into the financial management of the district. It is intended to assure that the maximum allocation of resources go directly to instruction, and it provides a system that evaluates the quality of financial management decisions, as well as ways to improve the management of district financials if needed, and increase the financial accountability within Texas public school systems. So those are the overall intentions of the first rating. For this particular year that we're discussing this evening, there's 14 individual metrics. One was not evaluated due to some unique nuances following House Bill 3 and with COVID. And so we are being evaluated on 14 different metrics. Some of them are pass-fail, where you get either 10 points for a metric or you get 0 points, and some of them are on a graduated scale. So the gradings are done as you see listed on the board. The only thing pertinent to Alvin ISD for the purposes of this conversation happens to be the top rating between 90 and 100, because Alvin ISD has received a superior achievement from the state of Texas in relation to our first rating. So that is wonderful news for our district. Telling you just a bit more about what led us to that point. On 13 of the 14 indicators, we received a perfect score. You can see the topics listed out just a bit. We received an unmodified audit. We're compliant with all payments. Our long-term liabilities to assets were in accordance with standard. Our debt service ratio was the same. Our data integrity and administrative cost ratio all received a perfect score from this evaluation. One was not rated, as I shared. In one, we did have a couple points that resulted in us having an overall score of 96 out of 100. And it's really based on a philosophical conversation that we've just discussed a number of times with the board about when do you incur debt and finance costs associated with long-term capital projects, when you have the ability to pay for those out of cash reserves or fund balance. And so those are strategic decisions that were made along the way, and the board certainly through lots of conversations has an intentional and strategic plan from a financial standpoint, both for this current year and moving forward. So that 96 is definitely something the board should be extremely proud of. Superintendent Nelson, congratulations for your leadership in achieving this superior rating. We're very proud of what has occurred here. Interestingly enough, corresponds with this, but recently the Government Finance Officers Association also gave Alvin ISD their highest award for governmental transparency. So lots of accolades on the financial front, and we resulted in a superior rating, as I shared. And so that very much concludes the presentation, but I am available to answer questions if we have any.
Does anybody have any questions? And this is audience participation part 2.
I'm curious which criteria did they not rate? Did you say that?
It was an indicator, I believe indicator 5 was budget revenue projection to actual, because there was a lot of uncertainty with changes in House Bill 3. And so when we were building out models and those kind of things, the systems were all changing. And so they held off on that one for a year. I believe that's the indicator.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any comment?
Can I comment? So, this has been a work in progress. I want to commend our staff, our principals, who several of them are here today, and our department leaders. We really came together on this to really make sure that we were fiscally responsible with our dollars, our taxpayer dollars. And I think it was truly a team effort. And Dr. Combs led that in the financial department, and Ms. Ryan and his team there. But just kudos to the staff, because we couldn't have done it. It's not one person that does this. It truly was a team effort across every department and every school, in looking at our systems and how we could become more fiscally sound moving forward. So that's been one of our goals. I know that was a board goal. So we're continuing with this. We want to continue. We're really striving for 100, but we are very, very pleased with our rating this year. So thank you, Dr. Combs.
Thank you very
And
much.
just to say, it took the whole village to do this. It just wasn't one person do it, and the board knows everybody has stepped up and gone above and beyond, and it's greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you, every one of y'all.
That's right.
Any other questions, comments? All right, moving on, we'll have the invocation pledge by Trustee Peterson. If you'll please stand.
Will you pray with me? Lord Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening with thankful hearts. We bow our heads and thank you for your love. Lord, thank you for each person meeting here and for their commitment to our students, our staff, and our community. Thank you for those who lead our schools. We ask, Lord, that you bless their efforts to make our schools safe and caring places of education. Thank you that they've answered the call to lead our teachers and our schools so that our children might learn in a safe and nurturing environment. Bless our school administrators with wisdom, integrity, patience, and the physical and mental energy equal to their tasks. Bless them with strong support from parents, from teachers, and from the community. Lord, we ask you to please make us strong so that we can do your work and be willing to hear and heed your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Next, we'll move into the superintendent's report.
This is always the best part, right? So first, I want to commend our principals, because it's National Principals Month. I don't know if that's a Hallmark holiday or, but I will say, I keep saying our principals are on the front lines, because they're the ones that are serving not only our teachers, but our students and our families on a daily basis. So we thank them for all that they do. Several of them are here this evening, but it definitely is one of the most difficult positions to serve in the district. So with that being said, we had a deadline for our face-to-face and our virtual learning, and this is our numbers after our deadline of September the 30th. Face-to-face, we have 17,144 students, or approximately 64% of our students that will be returning or will be face-to-face learners. And then we have our AVL, or Alvin virtual learning, and that's 9,610, or approximately 36%. One of the things that, with this is we had to have a hard deadline because of our staffing. And let me explain a little bit about that. We have teachers, and I should have brought some of the emails that I've received. We have teachers who are doing it all, right? All of our teachers are going above and beyond, but our secondary teachers' schedules are unbelievable. We have teachers who are teaching face-to-face, synchronous, asynchronous, and it's just a difficult, you can talk to them and it's the most difficult year of their career. Now, I will tell you, I've talked to superintendents who've been superintendents for many, many years, and they too say it's the most difficult year for them. So we're all challenged, but I will tell you our teachers are doing everything, going above and beyond for our students. So just know that with our deadline, it's not that we don't want to work with families, it's just we have to stick this time with the deadline. Last time our feedback from our staff and even from parents were back and forth, wasn't really servicing our kids, and it was very difficult on the classroom teacher because they had kids coming in, kids going out, kids coming in, so they felt like there wasn't this continuity. So if you hear that it's, we're not able to make changes right now, we are set with what we're going forward with, for it's in the best interest of the kids and our staff so that we can provide the best education for them. So that's a little update on our AVL versus face-to-face learning. Our Alvin ISD English Learners and Cultural Services Department that's led by Ms. Camacho, they are doing a Seek to Understanding training. This training started approximately 2 years ago. It was a cultural diversity training. They simply tweaked the name of it. Over the last 2 years, they've helped to train teachers to begin to understand and address needs of students of various cultures. If you've recently seen any of the ratings that have come out, there's different organizations. We're like number 5 in the state of Texas of one of the most diverse districts, and that means of all cultures across the world. So we take pride in that. But with that, we also know that our staff needs to be trained in different culture understanding. So this is developed for that. As of today, the department has trained 30 of our schools in their leadership teams. There's also a plan to train our departments. They've signed up. So, everything from transportation to child nutrition to purchasing to M&O to all of our departments will be trained. It just takes time, and it's systematic there. We have Alvin High School was recently trained. The entire staff, Ms. Taylor, had set up a while back to have staff trained this past Friday on October the 9th, as well as transportation is going to train all bus drivers on February the 9th, the staff development day. Due to COVID, only the leadership teams had been trained, but now we're beginning to have staffs and the entire departments being trained. As you all know, you were set up to be trained on September 21st, and then we had something called Tropical Storm Beta that was approaching, and we postponed the training, so we're in the process of rescheduling that. And also, just know that it's so important to us that we do work with this team when they're training. And I did attend the one on Friday for a while. They had 2 different sessions, and the staff was very, very open to it. So we're excited to have that training. With that being said, I did want to remind the board, because a couple of you have asked me, probably more than a couple of you, have asked me, what do we have in policy and what do we have in place to talk about discrimination, divisive language, derogatory words. So we went back and we looked through all of our policies. We have a local policy, FFH, that deals with that, and there's examples in there of things that occur, but we do have a policy that addresses that. We also have in our student parent handbook, I think beginning on like page 49, it addresses it also in the student handbook, and then also in our employee handbook. So in all of our district documents, we do have things that will address divisive language, racial slurs, things of that nature, and we do take it seriously. Some of you have asked, what about if students use divisive language or racial slurs? I will tell you, in cases that we've had in the past, and Mr. Gesh can address this as well, those students have ended up in ADAPT, which is the most severe discipline that a district can give. It's an alternative placement. So depending on once the investigation is done, we do take that very seriously. So I did want to address that. Anything that has to do with personnel, we're not able to discuss in open meetings. That is, personnel is discussed in executive sessions. And so we do have an executive session this evening, and that is one of the topics. So I did want to address that because we've had some questions, and rather than, I know I've talked to all of you one-on-one, but as a group, I did want to personally let you know that rest assured we will address it. We will not tolerate it. We're a district that takes it seriously. We're very diverse, and we respect and honor each and every student and each and every employee that works for Alvin ISD. So with that being said, I want to move on to our next exciting thing. A special thank you to the Greater Pearland Area Chapter, the Links, and I think Trustee Tanini actually tipped us off to this group, and they donated $2,500 to both Savannah Lakes Elementary and Rodeo Palms Junior High. The grants will go towards student technology on both campuses, and I want to just say kudos to our technology department under the lead of John Wiles. Their department has gone above and beyond. Again, they're frontline workers. They deal with troubleshooting every day, and so thank you, Mr. Wiles, for your leadership, and Mr. Rabelais and all that you've done with technology. So you have some more technology coming your way with these grants that we received. And thank you to the Greater Pearland Area Chapter, the Links, for making that donation to our campuses. We have a student spotlight. I don't know if some of you saw this on social media and maybe on the news, but Nia Baker, she's a student at Shadow Creek High School. She's a sophomore. And she wanted to give back to those who were working the front lines, our healthcare workers. So she started a GoFundMe account, and she wanted to feed all of the healthcare workers at Memorial Hermann Pearland as a thank you for their hard work. To feed close to 300 individuals, she knew she had to meet her fundraiser goals. She even went door to door to collect money. So about $1,600 she collected. She was able to feed all of Memorial Hermann at Pearland workers. And it's just amazing that our students are leaders, and they go out and they look how to give back to their community. She also had some money left over, so she fed the Pearland Fire Department as well. So kudos to Nia Baker. She is the epitome of giving back as citizenship and giving back to the community that she's serving. Then Meet the Heroes. On Wednesday, September the 30th, while we were in a district leadership meeting out at Heritage, we had 14 of our own personal Alvin ISD police officers who assisted with 3 officers from Manville PD, and they responded to a gas pipeline rupture on Highway 6. So initially, our students were evacuating because there was a gas smell. Well, then it was quickly determined that no, there was a gas leak outside, so we had to shelter in place. So we got our kids back into the schools. It was Manville High School, Manville Junior High, E.C. Mason, and J.B. Hensler. Well, 14 of our officers responded. They shut down Highway 6. They ran traffic control. It caused a massive traffic backup in the area surrounding Manville High School. They were rerouting 18-wheelers through our parking lots. These campuses, again, were in shelter in place. And so these are our heroes. Sergeant Martin, Sergeant Jackson, who I saw here this evening, Sergeant Ramirez, Sergeant Lamona, Sergeant Stark, Officer Nelson, Officer Goad, Gamboa, Officer Hill, Officer Jones, Lead Officer Oliver, Officer Hastings, Officer Morrison, Officer Fouth, and that's under our leadership of Chief Putnell and also Captain Fontenot. So we want to thank you. Kudos to them. We ran the traffic on Highway 6 that day. Well, with that then, after it opened up, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we had a car accident. We had a rollover. So, Ms. McWhorter, can you dim the lights so that they can actually see this? We have a video. So, also on Wednesday, September the 30th, a rollover accident occurred in Manville High School, in front of Manville High School. Alvin ISD PD officers were the first on the scene to assist the driver by pushing the car upright. Take a look at this amazing video, and fortunately, the driver was unharmed. We're so proud of our brave officers.
You making it to the van?
Yeah. Here, watch it. Push that down. Sorry, that's You okay, ma'am? No, nobody's on that side. Nobody on that side? No.
That's Trevino, Jackson, Reyna.
Hold on to yourself, all right?
Nah, she's good. Her. She ain't gonna get out there. Hey, the passenger side. Yes, lock.
You gotta make sure I text.
Yeah, but
Hey, listen.
don't move, don't move.
I got it.
So that's pretty amazing that our officers were able to roll the car back over and assist in assisting that accident there. It just made me, I mean, when we saw it, we all just got chills. So just kudos to our Alvin PD, our officers, Alvin ISD PD, and thank you for all that y'all do. You put your lives on the line for us each day, and we thank you. So I don't have a slide on this one, but because it's in progress, we have Alvin ISD has started off strong at the Brazoria County Fair. Kickoff was this weekend, and over the past 4 days, Alvin ISD students have shown over 350 animals, with many more planned this week. Congratulations to all of those that have shown, and good luck to those that are left. But let's go back to our officers. Can we have a round of applause? Sorry for moving on. I don't know how many are in attendance tonight, but hopefully they can watch, but kudos to them. It's pretty amazing. That's it. Any questions or any clarification?
All right, next we'll go into commendations.
Hello, board. How are y'all tonight? I hope you're
Good.
doing well. We have some, to continue the awesome things that our staff and our students are doing. We have some commendations today that I would like to present to you. So if I call your name, please come up, and parents, feel free to take pictures. You know, make sure you come up if you want to and get the best shots of your student, and we'll go from there. But we're going to start with Alex Scheibel. He is a senior in the band at Shadow Creek High School, and he was accepted and participated in the Juilliard Summer Winds online program. He worked with the Juilliard faculty throughout the 2-week virtual camp. And that's a pretty prestigious thing, so we are very excited for him. Congratulations, Alex. We are thrilled that you represented Alvin ISD and did such a fantastic job. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alex.
Okay, and next we have Marcus Lewis Jr., and Marcus comes to us from Rodeo Palms, and he is the winner of the National Student Essay Competition online, and it's entitled Popular Choice Vote. More than 200 students in grades 6 through university and college age across the United States submitted essays examining the state of freedom of the press in the United States today in light of the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The National Student Essay Competition is funded by the McCarthy Family Foundation, co-sponsored by the Boston Globe and Westminster College of Salt Lake City, and is supported by the Committee to Protect Journalists, the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, and media outlets from around the country. The prize will be presented on November 7th at the 15th Annual McCarthy Family Foundation Lecture Series in praise of independent journalism shown on YouTube. Marcus will receive a check for $1,000 from MKL Public Relations. Congratulations. That is a very big honor. Great job, representing.
Congratulations, Marcus.
Thank you. And our next one is Trenton Parker. And Trenton is part of the Marine Corps Reserve Association Legion of Valor winner for Region 5. Alvin High School Cadet Captain Trenton Parker was selected as the Legion of Valor winner by the Marine Corps Reserve Association. This application process is similar to a college application and is reviewed by a panel of retired military officers who comb through every detail for each student. This is the highest award a high school cadet can receive. Fantastic job. Awesome. We're very proud of you. And again, representing Alvin ISD well. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And last but not least, we have some staff members that have commendations that we're very excited about as well. And these are our Alvin High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC Reserve Association winners for Region 5 as well. And that is Major Timothy Flynn and First Sergeant Stephen Garcia. So let me tell you a little bit about what they have done. They do a lot. We know that. It is amazing the work that they're doing with our students. But Alvin High School's Marine Corps Junior ROTC recently ranked first as the Marine Corps' Reserve Association Naval Honor School. The process for being awarded this honor is in combination of many areas such as public affairs, community service, scholarships, academic awards, competitions they attend, and much more. And we are very, very proud and excited that you were able to represent Alvin ISD in that competition and came out on top. We're super excited. So great job.
We have the greatest cadets too.
You
Yes.
definitely
Yes.
do.
Parker, first in his class,
Right.
and he deserves that Legion of Valor award. So
That's
thank you.
wonderful.
The kids are the best kids in the world. We're very fortunate.
They are. They do a lot for the community. I see that all the time.
This is our state championship right here. If it
Yes.
was football, this is our state championship. I'm sorry, we really are. It took us 9 years to get it. Like I said, I know coaches get to give their speech and lead to the state
That's right. That's right.
So this is going to be, I'm sorry to take up your
No,
time.
you go.
I'm very excited about it. I love our program. The major knows this. I already warned him about this today. I should know you already. Thank you for giving this opportunity. First of all, I'd like to thank my wife. Yes, I am married. I know some people don't realize that. I'm never home, and she tells me to stay away, but it's okay. All right? But thank you for supporting me for everything I do, because you know how much I love what I do. Secondly, I'd like to thank Ms. Taylor. Thank you for what you do for our school. You always step up for us. Even when we're short our teacher appreciation money, you stepped in there and gave us the money we needed. So thank you so much. Major Flynn, thanks for putting up with me. Like, what is he about to say? He's going to go off. He's a great person to work for, and we're a great team, and it makes our job so much easier because he sees my passion, how much I love these kids. And the most important thing to us at all. Is our kids. What that award means, it's not just goes back of just only community service or public affairs, but it goes about family. They're our family. They know what we're about. We teach them about honor, respect, and courage. Just stepping up. When something is wrong, they step in and do the right thing. They know that we will praise them and tell them, thank you for being great. I tell them I love them every day. They need to hear it. But I also school them and tell them if they do something wrong. And they know they step up. They step up and they'll take that and they'll go, I made a mistake. Why? Because they know we would do it. As leaders and mentors of our community, of our school, we make mistakes. But you got to be willing enough to be a man, woman enough to tell these kids, I messed up. I'm sorry. I care about you. I will fix it. That's what our program's about. That's why we're number one in the nation. Over 350 schools. I put everything I got on these kids. Why? Because they know we love them and we know they care about our program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Major. Great job. So I will say that Ms. Rives said, and much more at the end, these men, Major Flynn and Sergeant Garcia, First Sergeant, they're not only leaders amongst kids, they're leaders amongst adults, especially at Alvin High School. And I will tell you that there are many times that Ms. Taylor quotes them. Dr. Bersenio would quote them. And so amongst their peers, they're leaders on campus. And we thank them for everything that they do. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you. It means a lot. And you're in good hands. So.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have the open forum, and no one has signed up for that, so we'll move into the consent agenda item, A through F. Does anybody want to take any of those or separately? All right. Do we have a motion to approve consent agenda items A through F?
So moved.
By Trustee Peterson. Do we have a second?
Second.
By Trustee Scheible. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Next, we have request to consider approval of certificate of order authorizing the issuance of bonds.
Okay, just a minute, Board. I'm working on my computer over here, learning something new, right? I'm getting there. I think I
We've got new
scrolled
computer
down.
systems, so
Yes,
we're going to be a
so
little bit slow.
That's okay. I'm going to find it right here. I think I'm still in the consent. Okay, here we go. Okay, the provider order outlines certain perimeters for Series 2020A and 2020B, authorizing the issuance, sale, and delivery of Alvin Independent School District unlimited tax refunding bonds in one or more series, setting certain perimeters for the bonds, authorizing a pricing officer to approve the amount, the interest rate, price, and terms thereof, and certain other procedures and provisions related thereunto, levying a tax and providing for the security and payment of such bonds, and enacting other provisions relating thereunto. So we ask for consideration. And there's attachment for the.
Do we have a motion to approve and authorize district representatives to take action as outlined in the attached certificate of order?
I'll make a motion.
By Trustee Tonini. Do we have a second?
Second.
By Trustee Harris. Any questions or comments?
My understanding from our discussion is the tax refunding, that's kind of like remortgaging your house and getting a better interest rate, correct?
That's correct. Based on where the rates are currently set, if they stay in the similar general area to where they are currently, the district can anticipate to receive over $12 million in present value savings by refunding them to better rates.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Next, we have request to consider approval for the mutual transfer of assets and services from the city of Manville.
So Board, this is the mutual exchange of assets and services, provides advantages to both Alvin ISD and the city of Manville. By this action, Alvin ISD clears land title for new Mason Elementary site and reduces short and long-term water utility costs. It enhances safety and secures backup water service for 6 campuses.
All right, do we have a motion to grant approval to proceed with negotiating the terms and conditions of this exchange of assets and services with the city of Manville, Texas, and authorize the superintendent or her designee the authority to execute the necessary legal documents?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Scheibel, second
Second.
by trustee Tonini. Any questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Next, we have request to consider approval for award of construction manager at-risk contract for Harvey Junior High expansion and renovation.
So Board, the construction manager at risk purchasing method for Harvey Junior High expansion and renovation project was previously approved by the Board of Trustees. After review and evaluation by the Buildings Program Department and the project architect, Gamma Construction has satisfied the evaluation criteria and submitted pricing that offers the best value to the district, and included in your agenda was the bid prices from other companies as well.
Do we have a motion to approve Gamma Construction as the construction manager at risk for the Harvey Junior High expansion and renovation project, and authorize the superintendent or designee to review and execute the final negotiated contract?
So moved.
By trustee Pickering. Do we have a second?
Second.
By trustee Peterson. Any questions or comments?
I have a quick one. So Pat, I was wondering, could you just give us just a quick explanation if Gamma is approved, how will people work with them to subcontract for them?
Absolutely, yes. And so Gamma Construction then will advertise, and they will take competitive bids on subcontractor pricing and material pricing for everything that would be included in the junior high renovation. They would be the go-to people for helping to plan the phases, because we'll be operating within the confines of an existing occupied and active campus. Phasing and working through the safety issues of people coming and going and handling and managing the different phases that will be required is imperative. And so partnering with Gamma so that they can help to expedite and work through the process of phasing and the planning and the drawings. They will take competitive bids. They will advertise for those bids. Alvin ISD will actually have staff from the Building Programs Department who will be present when those bids are received and evaluated at Gamma's office. So we still get the benefit of competitive bids, competitive pricing, and we still have opportunity for anyone, everyone who could possibly seek to want to have a part, because their company would provide one of the scopes of work for the Harvey renovation, to still be involved through the bidding process through Gamma Construction.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All approved? Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Next, we have request to consider approval of employment of personnel.
So Board, we continue to recommend employees for openings that we have currently teaching openings. The following employees will receive, if approved, an employment agreement due to pending content, exam, or late hire status.
Do we have a motion to approval be granted for requested personnel items as presented?
So moved.
By trustee Tonini. Oh, I'm sorry, by trustee Harris, the second.
I'll second.
Second, thank you. By trustee Tonini. Any questions or comments?
Can I make a comment real quick? Can I make a comment?
Oh, certainly.
So I think we had a trustee who asked what's the difference between an employee agreement and a contract. So an employee agreement simply goes through the end of this year, the end of the school year. And at any time you can end that agreement if things don't work out. A contract for an employee that's certified teacher or certified employee, they receive what we call a Chapter 21 contract. And the Chapter 21 contract, if they're a brand new teacher, they are on probationary for 3 years. And during that probationary period, if there's any concerns about if it's in the best interest of the district, then at the end of that probationary period, you do not have to offer a contract the following year. Once you move out of your probationary period, then you receive what they call a term contract. A term contract then is like a rolling contract. So it's a 2-year contract, and then each April we bring recommendations to the board again for a contract. No one has to be recommended. It could be a take no action, which means the employee then would have 1 year left. And sometimes this occurs if an employee needs assistance. So they're on a growth plan or they need some additional training. So we give them that following year to then work through that, and then they might be recommended again by their hiring supervisor, which is their principal on campus. However, if during that 2-year term contract, anything happens that you want to get rid of them, they cannot be terminated on the spot. They have what we call a property interest there. So they have to go through due process and things of that nature. That's when, we always consult with our legal and with our attorneys on any kind of employee action, I guess I should say. So I just wanted you to understand, because I know someone had asked, what's the difference between an employee agreement and an employee contract? So the Chapter 21 contracts, once they become term employees, they have property rights to that contract. And so it's not easily, you can't just fire someone. You have to have good reason and go through the proper process in that. So, and I think the majority of you have sat through some of those before. It's a lengthy process. It can be anywhere from 6 to 8 months up to a year for that. So any other questions about contracts? Okay.
All right, no more questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Does anybody have any future agenda items they want to place? All right, in that case, we'll now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections of Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas 551071, 551074, 551076. We are now in closed session. right,
I do
we're,
too.
back in open session. Do we have a motion to approve the proposed settlement agreement in CA number 4.19 CV 1928 in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Texas?
So moved.
By trustee Pickering, we have a second.
Second.
By trustee Peterson. All in favor? Oh, wait a minute, any questions or comment? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Next, I make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second by trustee Scheibel. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We are adjourned. Thank y'all very much.